right. Let's see here. Doobity-doop-a-doo. Alright, so let's see. I've done a bunch of work offline this morning because I knew I was going to tread into some territory where the workflow is a little different and I'm doing things that are kind of new and a little bit different, and I just kind of wanted to work out the kinks and the bugs before making you guys sit through all of it. I've already done 4 out of the 5 cars, so I've just saved the 5th one for last, and what we're doing is we're doing the UVs much earlier than I would normally do them so that I can get the seams unwrapped, so that I can finish the seams and get the materials set up on the seams and get that all worked out, and then we can go about doing our morphs. So it's very much out of order from the way I'm typically used to doing this. So like I said, I had a lot of kinks to work out, and I think it's kind of a good thing because yeah, I kind of struggled through the first couple of tries doing it the new way. I had some issues. But I think I've got it mostly worked out now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get through this in a reasonable time frame, and I should be able to show you what I'm doing with a limited amount of hiccups. So let's see, this is about where we left off. So we're at the point where we need to apply our mirrors, and I've already made a backup, so I don't have to worry about making backups just yet. So let's jump into our modifiers, and let's see, I'm going to move the mirror down to the bottom. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, but I'm going to move the mirror down to the bottom of the stack as tech support meows at me. So I'm going to apply all my shrink wraps, and then I'm going to apply the mirror. So that should take care of that. I'm working on this guy, right? That's the one, right? All right, good. I'm working on the backup. All right, so now the next thing to do would be the UV unwraps. So this is, the UV unwrap process is kind of the same, and I did a video recently about the UV unwrap process, and I put a link to that in the description of this one. It's like a 10-minute video on how to do UVs, and it's the latest method for doing UVs with Blender. And so this is basically the same setup. But if you wanted to watch like a shorter edited video, that's, like I said, it's in the link below. So just going on, let's go ahead and hide the underbody for the first go round. I'm going to highlight everything here, and I'm just going to U and U again, hit U twice, and that will unwrap. And I've already got a second window open, so let me drag that open over here. And I've already centered my cursor. If you forget how to do that, it's just this little, you can click this tab up here in this corner, or you can just hit the N hotkey, pull this out, and you enter 0.5 and 0.5 in the cursor location, and that'll center your cursor. So that's really the first step. But since I've been doing this all day, I'm already there. All I have to do is rotate this like about so, right? So this is still the same. Scale Y0 to make sure it's totally flat. Right-click, snap, and selected to cursor offset, something like that. We'll scale X, and bring it in just a tad, and hit P to pin it, and you can also right-click to pin as well. All right, so now that's set up. I can come back over here, and we can unhide these guys, and now we'll unwrap everything again. Hitting U twice, or you can just click on unwrap in the menu when the U menu pops up. I think you can also just, yeah, there's a menu, drop-down menu here if you just don't like hotkeys. That's always an option. All right, so let's get this, give myself a little bit to look at over here because I want to see. This should be, I think this is the rear. Let me make sure I get in a face select mode. I think that's the rear of the car. Yeah. So that's the rear UV, and this is the rear of the car. So let's go ahead and slide that. Get it centered first. Try and get it centered just about so. I think that's centered. Yeah, let's go ahead and smash it flat. Move it about, move it along the x-axis. right about there, and maybe make it a little smaller, scale it in, so that it's about the same size as the lip. We're going to be lining it up too. Same thing with the front. We'll just move this along the X. Let's go ahead and get it lined up. SX0 to smash it flat. Make it a little bit smaller and move it in on the X-axis and kind of get it into place. So let's see, which one is this? That looks like the right side, so that would be up here. It unwrapped nice and straight up and down, so that's kind of handy. Just got to figure out which side is which. It looks like these three right here kind of match up with those right there. So yeah, this whole section is up here. So let's rotate it this way. I'll hold down Control, that way it rotates in 5-degree increments. That's Y0 this time. Flatten it out like that. Let's go ahead and move it over here. We'll scale it in. And just throw that guy down there. And we'll do the same thing over here, but for the other side. And we'll rotate it. I'll hold down Control to snap. That's Y0. Get that kind of over here. Shrink it down a bit. And okay. Now I'm going to go back into vertex select mode. Turn on snapping. Sure, I'm on vertex snapping. And here we go. So this is kind of something I haven't covered in any of my streams before, but I do cover it in the video I linked in the description. And so the purpose of this is so that the underbody, and these little islands are the underbody islands. So these are the UVs for the underbodies. So the point of doing it this way is to make sure that the underbody gets cut out when you stamp a fixture like a grill or a diffuser or something like that into the body, because most of the bodies in the game, including most of mine, and I've updated a bunch of them. The only ones I haven't updated are the GPVs, but all the other ones I've updated to do this. So that now when you stamp a grill or a fixture, it'll cut out the underbody and you won't have that kind of weird looking leftover piece of underbody that doesn't get cut out. And so where I'm putting this, in case you're kind of wondering where I am on the UV, is let me zoom in on the car. I'm lining it up right here. See where the sharp edge is, where the lip meets the body, all the way around the car. So I'm lining the front up with the front, the sides up with the sides. And so this right here is the lip, and this line right here is where it meets the body. So that's what I'm lining these vertices up to. And I get these kind of doubles like this. I'll just right click and weld them together and continue on down. It's okay if you end up a little bit short. It doesn't hurt anything. Just weld them all together, snap them in place. It'll still work nicely. There. Okay. Moving on down, I'll do the side next. And once you get used to it, it really only takes about 5 minutes. So it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not a big deal. You know, I've come to accept this is not, you know, it's worth the time. It's just a few minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, I think, is about the average amount of time I spend on one of these like this. 5 to 8 minutes, and the result, you know, the bonus is that you get your underbody cut out, and that is going to make anyone who wants to use diffusers quite a bit happier, and even side pipes even. If you want to cut out like a hole, because you want more than just the invisible lip, then that'll be, you can cut out a hole with a grill or something. And so, yeah, it should all work out pretty well. I'm just going to work my way around here, snapping these into location. So that'll be what the first 8 minutes or so of this stream is me doing this. Okay. So this is actually kind of the easy part, you know, going through and doing this. Doing the seams is the harder part, and that was the part that I kind of struggled with a bit this morning, and I'm glad I did it offline, because if you guys were sitting here trying to watch me do that, I don't think any of you would have stuck around for the final results. It would have been 3 hours of me being pissed off and upset trying to figure out what the hell I was doing wrong to get to that final like 30 minutes of here's how we're going to do this. So hopefully this video will be more concise, and I really wanted this stream to go well, and so far up to this point I think this stream has gone pretty well without too many hiccups or hang-ups. I mean, everything has gone about how I wanted it to, and I didn't want to derail it at this point, you know. And so, because I really am hoping that this will be the last car body stream that I really needs to be done, and I can just focus on making shorter videos that cover individual aspects of making a car body rather than, you know, going through the entire thing from start to finish. Like, so I did that UV video, for example, and it's a 10-minute video. So now if you want to know how to do UVs in Blender, and that's the only topic you care about, I've got a video for that. So I kind of want to cover lots of different topics with that sort of thing. Just kind of make a shorter 10-minute video, cover the topic that's kind of specific, so when someone says, oh, I'm having trouble with my UVs, I don't know how to do them, oh, watch this video. Oh, I'm having trouble with exporting my body into Unreal. And it's like, oh, well, watch this video. So that's kind of like my next focus on videos is going to be kind of just going along that particular path of getting stuff, you know, edited videos that are shorter and more to the point, and so you don't have to sit through 9 hours worth of body making in a stream. The streams will be useful, though, I think, just for like giving you some ideas. You know, I find it, I learn a lot watching other people model and seeing how other people do stuff, and then of course stealing all their methods and using them for myself, and then calling them my own. Look at what I do. You know, and so yeah, so anyway, you guys can do all the same thing. You can watch my videos and then take credit for all the new tricks you learn and be like, check out all this cool shit I can do. And then I'll go on and I'll learn new stuff, and then I'll put it in new videos and share it with you, and you can be like, yeah, I learned new stuff today. The same way I do it. I learn, yeah, I do. Maybe I'll put this in the description. I've been doing a professional training course by CG Masters. It's the Corvette Blender training course, and it's for Blender 2.79, and I've been doing it in 2.8, and I'm more than halfway through it already, and I've learned so freaking much. I can't recommend that course enough. If you're like if you're at an intermediate level, you know, and you're just kind of like, you feel maybe stuck, and you want to learn some more tricks, God, that video is so good. I've learned so much crap, and I thought I knew a bunch of stuff already, but that one is really good. I'll see if I'll put that in. If I remember to do it, I'll put it in a link to that course in the video description below. And I don't get paid anything. You know, I don't get any kickbacks or nothing. There's no benefit to me other than I want to promote the course because it's I don't know, it helped me out. So anyway, we have done the UV, as you can see. I've already slid the window aside while I was yammering. What I forgot to do, and I'll do right now, is go ahead and add the second UV map, and now we're on to the seams, which is the kind of new, weird way of doing seams. And if you had tuned into the other streams, you'll see that when I did the seams initially, I haven't pulled them in, so they're still flush with the car body, and they're all made out of transparent lit placement material. So that's kind of one thing that's different. So the other thing to do then is I have, hold on a second, here we go. What I've done is I took all the seams and I assigned them to their own vertex group called seams, so that I can just easily select them like this. So actually, before I do anything else, let me go ahead and make another backup and duplicate it. There we go. I can turn snapping off. And I'm going to call this is going to make another backup. So UV's backup. In case I need to come back to this for some reason, I will have that backup. Let me go ahead and make a save real quick. Okay, getting back to what we were at. Did I just move the wrong car into the backups? I didn't move it at all? I didn't move it at all. Move it in there. There we go. Okay, back to this guy. So I have all my seams selected. So the bumper seam, the trunk seam, all the way around, both of the windows, the side windows, the door coming through here, the bonnet, you know, all of this stuff is selected. So what I'm going to do is duplicate it, Shift-D, and so there's my seams all up there. And I figured out the best way I found to do this is to just temporarily turn it into a separate object. So I'm going to hit P, I'm going to turn it into a separate object. I will temporarily just name it, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to name it seams just so I don't get lost. And then now I have my seams. Now if I unselect. So you can see the seams are still in the lip placement material, and they're just kind of their own object now. What I'll do is I'm going to highlight everything, and the first thing I'm going to do is make it paint material, just to get started with. So now it should be red. Because the paint material that I use in Blender is red, so now everything is red. But we're not done. First thing, we have to like make this make sense, because not everything's going to be red. If I tab into, not the card, I want the seam, not the card. Okay. So like the seam's going to get pulled in from here. Like, you know, it's going to go like that, right? So what that means is like from here to here to here should be this material. So that the part that gets sucked in is this material, and then it's paint over here. And I need to do that with like everywhere where it butts up with a material that's not paint. I kind of need to just make it make sense. So like you're not going to have red paint over here where the glass is. You're going to have a red paint right there. That wouldn't make any sense. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of come around, and I'm going to select loops like this. So I've selected the loop around the outside edge. I can hit Control plus, and then on the numpad, Control plus again, and I'll select each additional outside loop. And now I've got a good selection here. Everything that's in here, I'm going to make, Windows trim material, including this seam right here. I think it'll look pretty good to have like a little gray bit of, just a tiny bit of gray trim where the window seam is. I think that'll look fine. It'll look good. So I don't have to do anything anyway right here. Where red meets red, I don't have to do anything. It's just where red meets glass and red meets two-tone, and I have the bumper, for example. Those are the areas that I need to change the material. So we're going to kind of just work around the seam now, doing exactly that. So like the bumper, I've done this a bunch of times, and every time I select it, it ends up doing like this weird loop thing. And so the reason why that is because it's linked at the back here. If I zoom in to this corner, it's because of this vertice right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control-Shift-M, and as you can see, it selected the opposite side one over here. I'm going to hide it. Now, I'm going to turn on the car so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'm going to grab that one, and it'll just grab the bottom, and I'll hit Control plus and Control plus. And let me make sure that I've got it selected exactly how I want it. That will work just fine. And I will make that bumper material. So we'll assign that. Cool. And I can Alt-Hide. Don't need that hidden anymore. And then I'm going to do this one here for the front bumper. Just kind of zoom in a little bit, and I will Control plus, and we'll make that bumper material. And then I've got to do the bonnet. I need 2 lines worth of bonnet, so I'll circle the loop that goes around the bonnet. You can see it a little more clearly there. And I'll hit Control plus and Control plus, and make that bonnet material, about like so. Alright, let's get to work on some of this glass. So if I zoom in here, I'm going to want some of this to be glass material, so let me make sure I've got the whole ring selected. I do. So check using wireframe. And so I will Control plus, and we'll make that window material. And then I got to go up to the top of the roof, and I got to mess with these a little bit right in here, because I want this two-tone paint to just kind of wrap around. I'm going to grab from there to there to there, which is the middle line. And then I'm going to Control-Shift-Click, and then I'm going to Control-Shift-M, and I'll select the mirrored side, and then I can assign those the two-tone paint, like so. And then we can do the same thing over here. On this side, I want to grab from here to here, and then zoom in over here, and same, Control-Shift-Click, and then Control-Shift-M, give it the paint two-tone. Alright, cool. And then got to do this glass here. Let me make sure that that surrounded the whole ring. Looks like it has. Okay, so I can just do Control plus plus and make that window material, like so. And then the only thing I have left is the cowl section. So I'm going to click this line and click this line, hit Control plus plus like that. Red paint here doesn't make sense, and red paint there doesn't make sense. And then I'm going to go back into like wireframe, and I need to like deselect a lot of this extra stuff. I got too much selected when I did that. So let me just kind of deselect, make sure I got everything just the way. Oh, I think I actually want that one though. I don't want to deselect that one. Let me take a look, make sure that's, yeah, I want that also to be plastic. I don't want it to be paint. So we'll make that Windows trim assign. Alright, I think that does it. If I'm not mistaken, I've done the whole theme. All the materials. So that takes care of the materials on the seam. So let's temporarily hide the car. And the next step is a bit fiddly. And I think what I'm going to do first is I want to zoom in on all these little like triangle sections, anywhere where I've got 3 lines meeting up. If I let me see, if I, like, for example, if I tried to bring this down like this, you can see I'd get this weird triangle right here, you know, and I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll just hit J right there and I'll join that together. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Not sure if there's a good way to do this mirrored, so I'm just going to do it like that. And I'll work my way around the card, looking for these places where I have 3 together. So like this spot right here, we'll join that together. So I got to do the same thing on the other side. Go over there, and I'll join these together right there. Okay, let's see, anywhere else where I have, here's 3 right here. See how that looks. And yep, I want to do that one. We'll join that one there. So it means I need to go over here and do the same thing. And from there to there, I'll hit J. All right, where else? Where else do I have a 3? If there's 4, it'll just be a crisscross, so it won't be a problem. It's just where you have 3, like maybe here. Maybe just jump in here, and probably should do that one right there. We'll join that one there, and so we jump over to the other side and do the same thing. Join that one. And let's see, anywhere else? How about here? Here's a 3. And that one's actually okay, because I did that one manually. So now that that's done, we're going to select the middle line of every one of these. Painstakingly select. This is so much fun. Going through here and selecting the middle lines of all of these guys. Okay. Making sure that as we do, we won't have to select one side. We don't have to worry about making the selection on the other side. We can mirror select as needed. Let me try getting that guy there. Okay. So, ooh, vertigo time. Alright, so let's see about getting that one. And then I need to go over here. I'm getting totally zoomed in here. And is that the middle? Can't tell. Hold on a second. Let's see about getting my location there. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at that right there. That should be fine. Alright, moving on around here. Now when I get to my little triangle guys, I kind of need to zoom in because I need to make like one extra little selection right there. I need to make sure I grab that one. And did I not V that one? Oh, bunk, I didn't V that. Well, I guess I'll just have to live with it. Anyway. So, continuing on here, select that one, select that middle line in there. Alright. Seams are fun. I mean, basically this is, I mean, you do this anyway when you're modeling. Typically you just kind of do it maybe 1 or 2 seams at a time. Here I am doing every seam all at once. So let me jump in here, zoom in a little bit, snag that one. That one should be fine. I have to do the same thing over here. And I got the phone ringing. Hold on a second, I got to take that. All right, sorry about that. A little business phone call, not, you know. All right, let's see, where were we at? We were in this general area, selecting lines. So I'm going to select those, make sure I get, not that, make sure I get that one there. All right, I think I've got everything on this one side done. So I can just Control-Shift-M, and that'll select everything on the other. And I got to pay attention. I don't think you can see it. Hold on a second. Let me hide the key thing. So, well, you get a little pop-up down here at the bottom. It tells you that 406 vertices were mirrored. If there's an error, it'll show up next to it. There'll be like an error. And if you get that error message, it means you're going to have to go through and manually select stuff. It means that you've either got double vertices or you have an asymmetrical mesh, one of the two. So anyway, we have this. We have all of our middle lines selected. I think everything is exactly as it needs to be. Let me double check these corners. Yeah, everything should be fine. So let me go ahead and throw the car body back in here. I'm going to kind of crawl underneath it like this. I just kind of want to get into a spot where I can see what I'm about to do next. So like, that's probably a good spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scale along the normals, which is Alt-S. And that will bring the scenes in. And I have something funky going on right here. Something is not quite selected right, and I probably have a double. Oh, nope. Come on, guy. Hold on a second. Let me get over here. Oh, weird. You look at that. What has happened there? I have some oddness with my seam on this side. Is it over here on this side too? I'll fix that in a second. Looks like it's just one little... Yeah, I got the weirdness going on over here too. So let me probably have some doubles I'm going to have to fix. I don't know what happened there, but let me get into like X-ray mode, make sure that that's selected. We will correct this momentarily. And then the same thing right over here. Make sure I've got both of these and that line's connected. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. So Alt-S, scale it in. Yeah, you can see it's a double. So let me take a look, make sure that the whole seam went smoothly. I think I want to maybe do a little bit more. Bring it in a little bit more. I'm kind of going to work my way around underneath the car here and see that I didn't get any missed vertices, didn't get anything that went awry. Okay, everything else looks okay. It looks like it was just that one spot. So let's try to fix whatever mess I had there. First I'm going to select everything. Let's try to remove doubles. 10 removed. Okay. And I have it set down to 1/10 of 1 millimeter so that it's not going to join together my vertices that are real close, because the default setting is like 1 millimeter and it would glue all your crap together, and you don't want that. So anyway, now that that's done, let's see what has happened in this area. So that's just a... We just need to make that back into a face, it looks like. Not like so. Let me hide the car. Car's just getting in the way. Okay, and then same thing here. I've got two triangles. Let's go ahead and face it up. Oh, that's not triangles. That one's fine. It's just that one. Oh, that was so weird. Let me check the other side real quick, because that one had it too. Right here. I don't know how I ended up with that oddball geometry over there. Let's go ahead and hit F, and that will not be a triangle anymore. Okay, well this takes us right into our next step, which is, you can see as we seamed that back, we get this kind of like flower shape looking thing. It looks a little bit funky, and if we zoom over here, like you look inside the seam, and it's got all this kind of overlapping, faces are all a mess. And that'll look a little funny if you ever peer into a seam in the game. So what we'll do is we're going to like box select just one of them. Control-Shift-M, and that will select the same thing on the other side. And then we can just Alt-M and collapse. And it will collapse them on in the same way on both sides. So we're going to work our way, and you should do this with seams anyway. I mean, I've never done it before. I just kind of figured this out. Anyway, cleaning up seams like this will make the seams look so much better. Even though it's triangles, it won't matter because the triangles are inside of a seam, and that just looks a billion times better than the mess that you would have otherwise. So what we'll do is we just find everywhere where there's a junction, and we're going to find these sorts of whatever you want to call it. And see, this one's got one way up here. And I'll make sure I got all those. I will Control-Shift-M to mirror the selection. And let me turn off the display keystroke. I want you to see the pop-up here. And so I'm going to, I did that, right? Heads up. Heads up. There we go. So, yeah, we're over here. Alt-M, collapse. So now, let me do this one. When I do the Control-Shift-M, there's the pop-up. It says 7 vertices mirrored, no errors. That means I've got everything on the other side exactly the same. Then we Alt-M and collapse. So we're just going to work our way around the car and do exactly that. Turn the keystroke thing back on. And let's see, everywhere we have these busy joints, we'll just do exactly what we've just been doing, right? Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. Let's find another one. Should be one down here. Yeah, there's a couple down here. Drag them all. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. Let's see, where else? Probably one down there. There it is, for sure. We'll select all those. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. All right, let's keep on going. There should be more, I think. How about, did I do this one yet? Yeah, I did that one already. How about down here? Should be a joint down here. Yeah, I haven't done that one yet. Do that one. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. And let's see, where else? Probably going to be one here. I've not done it yet. Yeah. So we'll grab that one. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. And there's going to be some up along, probably on both of these window tops, if I haven't already done this one. I think I would, yeah, I haven't done this one yet. So let's grab that. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. And, oh, I did one on one side, but I didn't do one on the other side. So let's, yeah, work on our way to the front window here. And grab all those. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. Come to this side of it, over here. About like so. Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. Okay, and then, let's see, where else? Where else? Down here, I think would be one. Yeah, there's one mess down here. So Control-Shift-M, Alt-M, collapse. And that, I think, is the last one. Let me do a quick run through. Yeah, we did that one, right? We did that one? Yeah, we did that one. Ooh, vertigo time. Did all the ones around the windows. We did these. We did that. We did that. And we did that. So everything's done over there. The only thing left to do now with the seams is to kind of clean up everywhere where it is inside the bumper. The seam kind of wraps around the bumper, but it does some funky stuff. So not a big deal. Just Control-Shift-M to mirror select. And it's over there somewhere. But if I put it in wireframe, you'll see it. Yep, there it is. Over there. And then we're just going to move it down. Making sure that we do the same thing to the left side vertex that we do to the right side. Maybe I'll move this back about there. Maybe I'll move it up some. It's going to kind of peer inside of my seam here. And try to maybe just kind of line it up, generally speaking, with the angle of the rest of it right there. So then I can just grab, let's see, this one's all out of whack, so it's Control-Shift-M to mirror selection. And let's maybe bring it back a little, let's maybe bring it down a little. Let me jump in here, and I'll bring it down along the z-axis so it's not clipping through. So that works pretty good. And then this guy here, that one there, maybe I'll bring them back. Let me, hold on, Control-Shift-M. Maybe I'll bring them back a little bit and then down. And we'll get it to where it's not clipping anymore. And that should be just fine. It's the back side of the car. You'll never get in here. So anyway, that seam looks pretty good now. Totally fine for a bumper edge seam. So I've got 3 areas where I need to fix this. That one over there, this one right here, and this one's a little bit more of a mess. You can see it's got all kinds of overlapping stuff. So Control-Shift-M. Let's bring that back along the y-axis, about like so. And let's bring it down on the z-axis, about like so. And then I can grab this one. And what do I want to do with that one? Heck, that one's actually in a pretty decent spot. It's not too bad. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. How about back here? Let me just grab this guy. And if you want to move things along the x-axis, mirrored, right, because I just selected the other side, you want to scale. So we'll S and scale using X to constrain along the x-axis so that both sides get scaled in identically. And we can check that that worked by doing the mirror selection, and it still selects it. If we had done it asymmetrically, you'd not be able to reselect that side. Now, I don't know if I'm totally... Let me Control-Shift-M. I'm being super finicky. Like, there's no reason to be this finicky. It's a freaking seam. Alright, so let's go jump on over here to this one and wrap this guy up. I have another one that's amiss. Control-Shift-M. And let's see. Let's move that one down. Hello, Mr. Addy. Welcome to the live stream. let's see about moving this one here. Control-Shift-M. And we'll GY, move that one back this way. And I kind of want to bring this one back out now. So Control-Shift-M, we'll scale, and then X to constrain. Okay, that's not too bad. We have a little bit of clipping going on here. So Control-Shift-M. See, how can we solve that? If I move it down, well, yeah, there we go. And then we can probably scale it in on the X a bit, just to kind of make it a little bit smaller, and that should take care of our seams. Seams are done. Now I'm going to make a duplicate of this guy for a backup in case I need to come back to it. Underscore, I already have it seen, so BU for backup, and I'll put it in my backups folder. Okay. Now I'll highlight the car, and it's time to bring these objects together. And the reason why we're doing it in this order, before I do anything else, I'll show you why we're doing it in this order. So we need everything to be UV unwrapped. So if I pull open the UV unwrap page, you'll see that because we unwrapped this on the car body back when it was, you know, lip placement material colored and it was all flat and everything, when we copied it, duplicated it, and made it its own object, we got everything. And so, like, we got everything, including the UV, to come over with this. So all we have to do now is join it back together, and the UV will transfer over. They'll be perfectly lined up with the existing UVs. Everything will be awesome. Things will go well. And then the benefit of this, of course, the whole point of doing the seams this way, let me hide the seams now, is so that when you stamp a fixture on top of a car body, the fixture no longer dives in. Like, so what happened before is you'd put a fixture on a seam and the fixture would get sucked into the seam a little bit and would cause some weirdness in the fixture. This makes it so that that's not a problem by making a flat surface here that's invisible, and that's what lip placement is. It's an invisible material. And then we have the actual seam that's visible back behind it, and they're all UV unwrapped, so they'll all get cut out when you put a fixture on there, and it'll all work well. So that is the point of doing it this way. So anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and grab the seam. Make sure I got the seam. I'll click on the car. Control-J will join them back together, and now it is back to being one complete object. Da-da-da. Isn't it boring for you? Is making bodies boring? Heck no, none of this stuff is boring. I love this stuff. This stuff is fun. This is the best job I've ever had. And boring is commuting. Going to work on a 9-to-5 job, doing the same thing over and over again. You know, I was an auto body man and a painter for like 10 years, and it was kind of fun at first, but it gets boring after a while because the job doesn't change. It's the same thing over and over. This is, to me, I'm always learning something new. There's always something different that I can do. Every body can be better than the last one. So no, there's nothing boring about this to me. So let's see. I think we're about ready to do some shape keys. We're not doing any skinning or bonings or any stuff like that. Just going to do some shape keys. And so I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and join this area. Just make it one thing there. Maybe make the screen a little bigger. And so let's pick the coupe that we had. This is our main car that we started with yesterday, right? And it's already UV unwrapped. I already did the seams. I already did all this earlier today. So now we just got to do shape keys. And so what I want to try to do, and this is going to be a little bit new, is I'm going to try to get into multi-object editing. I'm going to use Blender's multi-object editing to make doing this hopefully go easier. Now I have to like add a shape key, add my basis, and then I'm going to do, let's call this quarter. And I have to do this to every one of these. So coupe, targa, let me make the targa visible. This guy, click on that, same thing, basis. I'm going to name this one quarter. I'm going to do this to all 5 car bodies, even the long wheelbase ones, because the morph is going to be about the same anyway. So convertible, jump in here, basis, quarter. Okay. Do the sedan. Okay, add a couple shape keys, basis and quarter, and the coupe. Go ahead and make that visible. It's the long wheelbase coupe, and we will call this quarter. Made a badge mod, but I can't do the thumbnail because of an error. It doesn't show in the game. What kind of error? I've got a chat question over there. Yeah, without knowing what kind of error you're getting, you need to know what's happening. Anyway, so now that I've done that, I've created the quarter for each of them. I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to actually start selecting lines like that. I'm going to grab that one. And then let's jump out of that one. Let's jump into the sedan, tab into it, grab that line, making sure I stay on quarter. Let me get out of that one, tab out of edit mode, and go to, what was that? Now convertible. Let me jump in here. Let me grab this line around here. Oh, one thing I'm not doing. I need to do this. Let me go back. Let me go all the way back to long wheelbase coupe, tab in. I need to select the opposite. That's Control-Shift-M to select the mirrored side of it. So I got to do that on all of these. Okay, Control-Shift-M over to the convertible. Tab in, Control-Shift-M, so I'm getting this other side. All right, continuing on to the targa. Jump in here, Control-Shift-M. All right, and then the coupe. Tab in here, Control-Shift-M. Okay, now everything is on quarter and everything is selected. What I can do is make them all visible like that. Just drag and select all of them, and let me save before I do this in case I get a crash. And I'm going to tab into edit mode, and now I'm in edit mode for all 5 cars at exactly the same time. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use orthographic. I'll put this on like smooth, something like there, and turn on proportional editing, and I'm going to move this out on the x-axis, and I'm going to scroll up, 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 come on, until I start getting more of this involved. I want to get the right amount of car involved. Maybe a little more even. Maybe even a little bit more. How much of this car can I go? I don't want to move the windows. Basically want to get close to the windows without moving them. So maybe there. Maybe that's about where I need to be. So let's try that again. I'm going to scale along the X, and let's move it out about this far. Okay, now, if all has gone well, I have just done my quarter panel shape key on every car body. So let's hide some of these and check my work. So we'll start with the coupe, and we tab in, basis, quarter, basis, quarter. All right, that worked. Let me tab into the targa. Yes, it's worked. Outstanding, cool. The power of multi-object editing, awesome. So let me actually go into edit mode to see this. All right, so we have that, looks pretty good. Now, obviously, we won't be able to do all exact same morphs to all these car bodies because, like, you know, some of these are 4 doors and some of these are 2 doors and some of these have different shapes. And so when we get to doing roof morphs, we may have to, like, we'll split the long wheelbases up from the short wheelbases. But for the most part, this should work out pretty well for most of the morphs that are going to be consistent throughout all the car bodies. So that would be the wheel well morphs and anything we do to the front and probably anything we do around here. Like if we want to do the windshield morph, probably do that to all the cars at the same time. And then when it comes to doing the back, we'll probably have to do the long wheelbase cars separately, and we could probably do the shorter wheelbase cars at the same time. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So let's move on here. Let's go to, we're on the bottom car here, the coupe. So let's add, make sure that I'm in object mode with the object selected. Make sure that it's selected so that we know we're on the right object, and let's do Fender, like that. Now I'm going to tab in. I'm going to grab the lip of the fender, Control-Shift-M, make sure it selected the mirrored, and it did. All right, and now I can just do as we did before. We'll hide that one, tab out of edit mode. You can tab out of edit mode at any time. So now the second car on my list there, and oh, hold on a second. Let me make sure that I didn't accidentally keep the back selected. I didn't. Okay. Gotta make sure that I deselect the, yeah, there we go. Make sure we deselect our line, all right? All right, we'll do that. Control-Shift-M. Make sure it's selected the other side. Oh, and tab out real quick. Fender. It's really easy to get lost, isn't it? All right, so leave it on Fender. Make sure I left the other one on Fender, because it's super easy to get lost doing this. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I've done it exactly like this with this many car bodies. But I had the general concept. Fender, come on. Fender. All right. Tab in with Fender selected. Make sure that we don't have anything else selected. All right. Just talking out loud here. Okay. Select the other side. All right. Okay, same thing. Select this car body here. Add our fender. Fender. Jump in here. Grab the lip. Control-Shift-M. Grab the other one. And one to go. All right. Add the fender morph here. Okay. Tab into there. Select. Control-Shift-M. Select the other side. Cool. All right, let's make them all visible again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just shift select all of them like so. And, oh, it's convertible. Tab in. All right, let's do this again. Let's give it a scale along the X. And let's see, how much of the car do I want to get involved this time? Yeah, it's starting to move the window, so we don't want to do that. I don't want to start moving the window. That's no good. So I think right about here, probably about right. Just want to see real quick how far out I pulled the quarter panel. So yeah, that looks about the same. I think I remember that being about the same. So that should work there. Cool. All right. Go ahead and... Oops. All right. Right on. So now you can see the fender, you can see the quarter, and the basis. So let's see what's next. Let's do a front morph. Oh, kind of morph. I think we'll do one that pulls the lip more straight. So the lip kind of goes like this. So maybe I'll pull one that has it going kind of that way. We'll do like a shear operation. So we can actually select vertices after the fact too. As long as everything's in the same spot, we can just kind of go through object mode, and I'll pick on that guy. Let me add, let's call it f_lip for front lip, and we'll do that to all of these. f_lip. Have it there. Add f_lip. You could feasibly name them something different. I mean, you can name it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. It's just for me, underscore or f_split. So I mean, if you have a typo, it's not going to matter. As long as you have the correct one selected while you're doing the morph, you could name it Jiminy Crickets if you wanted to. All right, f_lip. So that's 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select them all, tab in, and go into side view. And go ahead, and I've got everything deselected now. And I could probably tab into wireframe real quick to make sure. And that ought to help me make a selection here. Everything's exactly the same from like here forward on every single variant. So I can do some stuff right here with just, let me just do like a circle select. Let me circle select every, so this is selecting every vertice on every car all the way around. And let me figure out how much of this I want involved. I probably want to do that. And that's probably good. All right, so from here, I'm going to go from 3D cursor to active element. And I'm going to make, let's call that the active element, right there on the y-axis. Go into side view, and I'm going to give this a shear operation, and I've kind of come to like the shear tool. And, oh, yeah, well, give me a second. Give me a minute to do. Hold on. Before I do that, let me go back into this mode here. Let me save. Let me undo what I just did. I want to turn off. No, I don't want to turn off proportional editing. I just want to like, I want to scale it down to where I'm not moving. I'm just using the move tool because I want to see how much I'm affecting. I don't want to affect the fender. So now I'm starting to pull the fenders. Don't want that. So that's about as much as I want to move. So now that I have that going, let's grab the shear tool, and let's give a couple of these things. Let's try a couple different things. Let's try it this way. No, that's not really going to work. Let's try undoing that. Let's try it this way. That's not what I'm after either. Undo that. No, that's not what I'm after either. I wonder why I'm getting different results. That's a kind of a twist, isn't it? Maybe I'll just use the shear hotkey. Not quite getting the results I'd expect to get. Oh, I know why. No, I don't know why. I have active element selected. No, I don't. I have bounding box center selected. That's why it's acting funny. I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. Okay, so now, there we go. That's what I was after this whole time. Give it like a last NASCAR lip, right? We'll have it jut out maybe a little bit further than what would make sense. Something like that. And then let me get this back into position. So I'm going to actually deselect. Go back over here. I'll deselect all of these. And I'll go back to making that the active selection. And back to side view. And back to the shear tool. And I'll put those guys back. And I can turn off, undo, save, undo. Starting to get in the habit of saving before I do undos, because Blender likes to crash right now on the undo operations. Me anyway. So let me put that back there. That's straight. Okay. Cool. So now every car will have that as its front lip morph. So let's move on. Let's do another morph. Let's just do like a front bumper morph. And so let's start hiding some of these. And we'll take the first one here, and let's add it, and we'll call it F underscore bumper, capital B, bumper, like that. And we'll do that with all 5 again. F underscore bumper, F underscore bumper. And yeah, I mean, it took quite a while to get used to doing things this way, but this is so much faster than skinning a mesh and weighting it, and it's also a lot more accurate, and I think it's a lot more powerful. F bumper and coupe. That F underscore bumper. So that's all 5. Make them all visible again. Go ahead and save real quick. Alright, so now I'm going to tab in edit mode. Let's go back into the select mode here. So if I go over to lip, you'll see it'll move. Just go to bumper. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I think what I've done here is, let me just kind of select a few of these, like that. Oops, I don't want those over there. And we'll go back to proportional editing. Let's turn that back on. And I just kind of need to play with this for a minute. I'll roll this out. I don't know how much. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe I do even more. I guess the more the merrier, huh? It looks like one of them's not getting grabbed. Something's not being grabbed. Oh, you know, I didn't select every one of them. That's why. I'm gonna remember to do that. Remember to select all the cars. Now they should all be moving. Yeah, now they're all moving. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now, like I said, I just got to kind of decide how I want this to look. So, kind of go with a pointier front end. That'd be kind of cool, right? Maybe I'll do something like that and give you an option for a pointier front end. So let me go into side view, and we'll give this a pull to the Y, like so. And maybe I'll have it come down in the process. What do you think? Anything about that? No. That's kind of moving the lower lip. Now we'll just have it come out. That should be fine. That's a good little morph, I think. And basis, front bumper. So that's a good comparison of the two. Basis, front bumper, basis, front bumper. That's quite a good morph. Alright. Now let's do like a hood morph of some kind. Alright, let's deselect everything. Let's go back to what we were doing here. Back into object mode. And we will just make like a hood morph. Hood. Moving our way around here. Hood. Obviously, if you're not making 5 variants, you can just do this to 1, and it's a lot simpler, but hood. I have done this where I've tried to like copy, like do all this to the first variant and then try to make a bunch of variants, but it tends to wreck the shape keys. So I've kind of just gotten used to this idea where I'll set the morphs up as like the very last thing I do. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Select everything. Now I gotta decide what kind of hood morph I want to do. And what do I want to do with the hood? I'm not entirely sure what kind of morph I want to do with the hood. Maybe just make it go taller, shorter kind of thing. So maybe I'll select like these, but not those, but this. Oops. This, but none of these. Obviously, I don't want those moving. What happens if I do that? Okay, well, it's starting to move around the fenders. Whoa, that's way too much. Moving the fenders around. And I don't want to move the fenders around. But I do feel like I want to get more involved, right? Like, not that much. If I want to get, come on. Maybe one more. If I want to get this much of the front end involved, to do kind of like something like this, because that's kind of the vision I have for this. But I don't want to move the wheel wells and everything. So what I'm going to have to do before I can do that is I have to hide a bunch of stuff. And so let's just like select. I can't do selections that way. Everything has to be like a circle select or a box select. Let's just select everything around here in X-ray mode. Like that. Maybe not that. I'll go with that guy and this guy here, and let's hide it. Alright, now let's try that again. Let's go up to top. I think I was doing, what, like these? Or roughly those guys. Alright. Now, just do our little morph here, and let me get into the side view so I don't end up going the wrong way. I want to do something like that. Okay, Alt-H to unhide everything. And oof, didn't want that to happen though. But that's okay, because we can actually do something with this. So let me know. No. Let me undo that. Let me save first. Undo. Okay, Alt-hide. So I guess I don't want to hide the front end here. Oh, man. Let's not hide this. So that moves. Alright, there we go. Let's try this again. There's always some trial and error when setting up morphs. Grab those. Go into side view. And let's do something like that. That really kind of flattens out that front end, right? Alt-H. And, oh boy, that caused some stretching. It'll probably be alright. I might want to edge slide this line back in a bit. So let me grab every one of these from here to there. So that should select both sides on every car. And I'm going to do a little bit of edge sliding. Just a little bit. I don't want this giant, oh, come on, what am I doing? There we go. I don't want to have too much of that thing going on right here. So that's pretty even. Let me deselect all of these, and I'll move these back a little bit. About like that. Oop, heads up. Yep. We'll get there. Alright, cool. So now we have that for a hood morph. And we can always just kind of check it. So there's a hood morph. You can combine a hood morph and a front bumper morph and your lip morph and take them away. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright, good. So that probably takes care of all the morphs we're going to be able to do to all 5 at once, because everything else is going to involve, like even with the roof, there's quite a bit of difference between a couple of them. Like we can do the target and the coupe in the same one. So let's do that. So let's do like because the target and the coupe are exactly the same, except the target has a seam right here and the coupe does not. The only difference between the two cars. So what we can do is we can do our windshield morph. And I think in order to do the windshield morph, we're probably going to end up having to hide the front end of this car again. So let's grab both of these. So they're both selected. Tab in. Let's make sure that we work on the same thing here, right? So let me hide one car. Gotta give them names. Don't forget to name your thing. So let's call this windshield. And I'm going to do this. We're going to do windshield morph on every car. So let's do that next. For every car, I'm going to go ahead and do windshield on all 5. like so. Windshield. And on to the fifth one, add windshield. Actually, this one I might be able to do. Let me take a look. How does it overlap with the coupe? Hey, I can probably do that one with the coupe. It's similar enough. Alright, so we can probably do windshield on 3 of them. Cool. Good to go. So let's tab in, and I'm probably going to want to hide a lot of the front end, because I don't want to like start dragging around the fender. So let's get in the side view. And let's see, maybe I'll start with giving myself a guide. Get into X-ray mode and get circle select going. And let's carefully trace out. Get the easy part done here. And then get up here, zoom in real good. Real good like. Yeah, I don't know. Got a bunch of this windshield getting in the way, so maybe I just kind of need to do it like this. And pretty sure that Control Shift mirror select does not work like this. I've done that before. It does not reliably select everything, as far as I recall. So anyway, well, it looks like I've got a bunch of stuff here that I don't want selected. Let me get into wireframe real quick and see it a little bit easier. A bunch of stuff here I don't want selected. Just trying to make sure I got everything going just right. Let's hide that. Okay, now that that's hidden, I won't mess it up. So let's grab everything from here to there. We'll make this, no. Active element really kind of needs to be a point here. We'll make that the active element. Go back to proportional editing. And we will use the shear tool again, making sure that we have active element selected. And let's do something like that, but oh, hold on. Yeah, that's one thing about that tool. I can't like actually check. I don't think it'll actually let me. Maybe it will. Let me try it. Let me try one more time. Yeah, no, because it's gonna be kind of difficult to like scroll on the mouse wheel. I can do it. I gotta do it with 2 fingers. Okay, this is possible. So, all right. So what I'm doing here is I'm using proportional editing to kind of smooth out what's happening here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to box select and deselect. Deselect, not select. Deselect. Come on. Come on, guy. Deselect those. Then shear some more. Okay. Let's circle select. All right, that's a little better. All right, pull a little more. Circle select. Deselect those. Pull a little more. Circle select. Deselect those. Pull a little more. Circle select. Deselect those. And pull a little more. And we'll do maybe one more. And pull one last shot. There we go. Okay. That should give us, let me unhide everything and see if that has wrecked the mesh. Otherwise, shouldn't have. Looks like it's okay. Now, what I'm going to need to do to really check the reflections on that, let me save. Alright, let's jump back into this. Let me actually get into matcap. I will make it so I can only see the coupe. Yeah, X-ray mode. And then I want to watch. Alright, what happened? Nothing's changing. Why? Oh, because I've got the wrong one. There we go. It's messing with the door seam. I don't want that. Oh, that kind of sucks. Otherwise, it's pretty good. It's just the door seam that is not what I wanted. I'm going to try to undo without crashing Blender. Let's see if it'll let me do it. I want to undo back to the point where I started. Okay, so that's about the point that I started. And I'm going to actually, we're going to deselect a bunch of these lines. So let's not, oops, hold on. Make sure, yeah, everything should still be in multi-object selection. Let me tab out edit mode real quick. Yeah, everything's selected. Everything is as it was. I just need to be in X-ray mode so I can deselect all these up to here. And we'll go to the other side, do the same thing. And we'll deselect those. To there. So now the door seam should stay put. At least a little bit more. Guess I'll have to take a better, and if that doesn't work, I'll have to hide it. Alright, so anyway, back to making that the active element. We'll go back to enabling that guy. Bring open the shear tool. Shrink it down. There, let me try. Yeah, I think that's an amount of seam movement I can live with. I need to be able to move. Yeah, this should be okay. Because that won't totally massacre the seam. That'll look okay, I think. So let's give this a little pull right there. And we're basically just kind of doing this all over again. No big deal. Because it's easy enough to do. Alright, let's give that a look. Alright. Give that a try. Make sure that car is selected. Much better. Doesn't mess with the door seam anywhere near as much. And so we should have the windshield seam on the coupe. It should exist on the targa. And it should exist on the long wheelbase coupe. Right? Oh, I didn't get the long wheelbase coupe. Did I do the wrong car? No, I guess I just didn't get it. Didn't accidentally do the convertible, did I? Nope. Missed out on long wheelbase coupe. That's too bad. Bummer. Oh well, I guess I'll just do it again. Alright, so how much different are all of these? They're different enough that they'll be problematic. Wait a second. It is working. Did it just not select it? Yeah, it's working. I got it. I got it going. It's there. Hello! Hello world! Cool. Alright, so we got the windshield morph done. Alright. Now I got to do the sedan. We got to do these kind of separately because they're different enough. So, yeah. Getting into the grind here. Getting into the grind. I can probably take that shading off of there. Make it a little bit better looking. Alright. So what did we do before? I had giving myself, should be easier with one car body, just do that, right? Oh, you can do the select. Or was it this one? Yeah, something like that. We'll hide that. Do this, Control Shift M, hide it. Oops, not knife. Hide it. Let's see. Hide that. Heads up there. Hold on, guy. Hide that one. Hide that one. Hide that one. Okay. Then we can just work on selecting the part of the car we want to move, which is something like here. I did that with a box select before. I can just kind of box select and then deselect what I don't want. So I probably don't want to do that one. And then same thing up here. I don't want to do these guys. Oh. Actually, these guys right here. Ones I don't want to do. Everything else I want to do. Oops. Alright, let's do some more shape keys. Alright, got Windows selected. About the thing was over here. Alright, side view. Throw on our guy here. Okay. Whoops. I think that's actually the last one I'm going to do, right about there. Alright, so that gets the windshield done on the sedan. And then I got to do the convertible. That one was different enough than the coupe. The roof is quite a bit different, actually. So let's jump in here and we'll kind of do the same thing we've done before, right? Grab that guy, hide it. You get select going on here. We'll hide that. We will hide that. Hide. LH. LH. Okay. And then kind of doing like what we've done before. A little box select. Come up here and deselect what we don't want. Oh. Ah! Ah, no! Alright, working our way down here. Come on! Just get that guy. Yeah, cool. Alright. Alright, we'll make this the active element. Go into side view. Grab our shear tool. And begin our shearing. Okay. Now that's easier to use than the hotkey, because the hotkey for shear is Shift Control Alt S. Shift Control Alt S. It's a long hotkey, and so I end up have to use both hands. So with this little widget, I don't have to take my hand off the mouse. So that's making it faster. Something like that. Alt H. Let's have a look. Cool. That'll work for me. Alright, what are we going to do next? We can do, the rear bumper morph, though. I'll bet we can do a rear lip morph on all of them at the same time. Even though they're in a different location, I think they are all exactly the same shape. If I'm not mistaken, they should be... Yeah, the rear bumper is the same. All the way down. So let's, even though, like I said, even though we have different, yeah, so what I'll have to do is I'll just have to think about how I'm going to do my selections. I'll have to select them differently, but I can morph them at the same time. That way they get the same morph. So let's do a rear lip morph, and then we can do like a rear bumper morph. Yeah, that's an idea. Let's do that. So let me start at the top here with the coupe. We'll add a key number 7, R underscore lip. Click on that guy, add one, R underscore lip. So that actually means it's our sixth morph, because the first shape key is the basis. So add that one, R underscore lip. F underscore lip for front, so R is rear. Alright, add this one. Whoops. Oh, hold up. Hold up, I'm on the wrong car. Select the car. There we go. R underscore lip. Grab the car. Add R underscore lip. Okay. So now let's grab our two long wheelbase ones, which are roughly in the same location. Close enough. So let's grab. What do I want to grab? What do I want to grab? From about here? Yeah, probably from about here to, let's say, oh, not that one. Say to about there. Okay. So now let's do both of these. I have them both selected, don't I? I did not have them both selected. Let me make sure I do that again. Ah, you can see they're slightly off. They're slightly off of each other, but they're close enough that they'll be fine. Let me go ahead and select them all. Everything's selected. Paint them all. Don't miss any of them. Okay. So that is those two. Now, let me grab these three. Tab out edit mode. Box select all of them. Easiest way to do it. Then, whoops. Come on. Tab into edit mode. Alright, same thing. We did, what, from here to here? All the way down to there. Like that. Okay. So, actually, I think I do have to do them separately. Oh, let's deselect this, huh? I don't need that selected. Because the location of the active element's different. So yeah, we'll do these separately. So I need to do these three cars, the coupe, target, and convertible, since they're the same wheelbase. Let me just make that active element. Let me do this guy here. And give it a little tweak. About like so. That's moving the wheel well. You don't want to move the wheel. So about there. About there. Okay. And then deselect this. Go back to that as my active element. Didn't highlight, but it should still be there. No. Tell me my active element's down here. There we go. And we'll put this guy, turn proportional editing off, and we'll stick those guys back till they're flat, like so. Alright. Alright, that gives us a rear morph on the first three. So let's hide those, highlight the next two, and we'll do the same thing we just did over here. Come on. Come on. What's going on? Tab in. Tab in! Alright, going to edit mode. What the heck? Do I have something selected? 1, 2. That's edit mode. There we go. Okay. Being a little finicky for some reason, but whatever. All good now. Make that our active element. And this should be pretty straightforward. Turn auto merge back on. Do exactly what we did before. Something like that. And then deselect those. Re-enable this as the active element. And where were we at here? Turning this off, back to the shear tool, and shear that back into place. Okay. Very cool. Alright, so now we can do like a rear bumper morph that is essentially the same thing, but again we'll have to do The long wheelbase cars separate from the short wheelbase cars. No biggie deal. Let's just kind of start at the top, and we will add a rear bumper morph. So R underscore bump, oops, in all caps, R underscore BUMPR. Take some spelling lessons, dude. Alright, R underscore BUMPER. So second one, third one, R underscore BUMPER. Alright, continuing on. This is actually, I know this is kind of a long video, but this is going pretty quickly. It used to take me all day just to skin a car. At least a day, sometimes more than a day, to skin one car and give it like 8 morphs. Here we are, an hour and a half into this stream, and I think only an hour of it so far has been morphs. You know, whoops, hold up. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. R underscore BUMPER. Alright, so that's those. So let's do the first two, the big guys first. Select them both, tab into edit mode, and let's decide. Kind of do this similarly to the front, I'm thinking. Go like that. So kind of just get a decent uplift there. And pardon me. Let's grab, that's not exactly, where am I? Alright, let's grab like those, and I think I've got one, yeah, I need one more over here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn proportional editing on, not magnet, proportional editing. And let's have a look if we just move this out on the Y, doing something like this. Alright, I want to move about that much of it. So let me get in the side view. And let's pull this out on the Y. And maybe not that far. Maybe to here, and then we'll move it down just a touch. Actually, yeah, that'll be okay, except for one thing. Before I move it down, I want to hide this section. Alright, so let's try this again. Alright, back to the side view. I just want to move it down just a little, kind of compensate for this. I want to keep this curvature curved, about like that. Alright, so let's see how that goes. Let's pick one of these. Pick that guy there, and so make it even longer. Throw your lip in with it. Okay. Cool. So we'll do the same thing with the other 3 cars. 1, 2, 3. Should already be on bumper on those ones. We are. And oh. And we're being finicky about edit mode again. There we go. Alright. So same idea. Let's highlight from here across to here. Okay, side view. Move this guy out. About like so. And then we'll do the same thing we did before. We'll hide this. Re-highlight our stuff. And we'll move it down just a touch. Correct the angle. Okay. Let's pick a random car. Make sure it worked. It did. Alright. Let's see. What should we do with the rear window? I kind of have gotten into this habit of making bulges. And I think it works pretty well. Kind of just change the curvature of the car. let me experiment with this before I commit to anything. I'll just pick one for now, and let's give it a name. Call it our glass. All right, now what do I want to do with our glass? I might do something like select everything from there to there, making this the active element. Going into side view, turning on proportional editing, it's already on, grabbing the shear tool, and doing something like that. And I don't know. I mean, let's see. Gives it kind of a razorback. Also dipping the front windshield down. So I don't know about that one. I don't know, just experiment with this for a minute and see what I can come up with. Try something. How does it look with more of it involved? That might actually work. It would be a pretty mild morph that doesn't really do much at the front. It has a big impact on the back of the car. It doesn't have to be a big old morph. It could be a small one. And just kind of do, maybe I'll do something like that, huh? What does that end up looking like? Really bows out the car. It's a pretty modest morph, but it just kind of like, instead of it being flat, it makes it a little more round. So that might be a good morph. Let me take a look at it with the matte cap on, because I want to make sure it doesn't screw up my reflections on the windshield. And no, they look pretty good. Okay, I think that's what I'll do. I think I will do that. Kind of cool, huh? Alright, so anyway, let me get to the point where we are undone. I'm going to actually, in order to make sure I don't want to undo, I will save though. Let me just, I'll get rid of it. That will delete the morph, and I'll add it back. So, glass, and I'll just do this to all 5 of these, because we're going to do a similar morph to all of them. Alright, so add one to you, glass, our glass. Okay, to you, add one. Oh, hold up, not to you, our underscore glass, ass. There we go. Getting somewhere now. Alright, another one, our underscore glass. And maybe this one here. Add r underscore glass. Okay, so that gives me those 5. And this will probably take something a little bit more unique, but we should be able to do the convertible to Targa and the coupe all at once, I would think, because they're similar enough. I go into top view here, and I'll just try to box select all these cars, make sure that, there we go, X-ray mode is enabled. Whoa! Hold on, if I grab the correct tool, I should be able to box select all of these. Making sure I got them all. Oops. Trying to make sure I got them all. Just double checking there. Alright, and then let me de-box select down there, clearly. Make this the active element. Go into side view, turn on the shear tool, and we just gave it a little shear, about like so. I think that's enough. Right there. Just give it that little bulge. Okay, let's pick a random car. Do convertible. See how's the convertible look with that. And hold on. Uh-oh. No, that should be work. I didn't do it on the convertible? Probably didn't have them all selected, did I? Got nothing working. Hold on. Why didn't any of those work? What is the deal, yo? It should be working. The morph is there. It's under glass. There it goes. Oh, it's another Blender bug, apparently. Just kind of like randomly decides not to show you the morph. This one's not selected. So I guess I didn't get them done. Yeah, for some reason, I must not have had these cars selected. Bummer. Well, we could fix that pretty easy, I think. Oh, yeah, I don't think I did this. I didn't. Yeah, and you can tell. Whoa, what the heck? What's triangled? What the heck car is triangled? Hold on a second. Why are you partially triangulated? What is going on with you? Oh, I got backups highlighted. Is that what I did? Oh, man. Oh, that's bunk. And the wrong car is selected this whole time. Alright, hold on a second. Working through the mess here. Working through the mess. So you have your thing. Did the morph work? Morph is working. I'm actually going to delete it and do it again. R underscore glass. Alright, let's try this again. Pretend like none of that happened. Select all the cars. Alright. Let's get all these things. We're in X-ray mode, right? No, we're not. We get in X-ray mode. Make sure everything's getting selected that needs to be selected. And make sure we're in box select mode here. And from there, down to about there, down to about here, to about here, including these, not including those. Alright, it's going to work this time, I promise. I promise. We'll make it work. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, let's give it just a little morph. Nothing too much to it. Alright. Okay now. Picking a random car. Convertible. There it is. There we are. Alright. And, oh, come on. The target didn't work? What? Oh, hold on. Heads up. How about if I actually select the car? You actually select the car. There it goes. Okay, it worked. Cool. Oh boy. Now, that's a lot of morphs. It's a pretty good amount of morphs for a car. And if I can't really add any more because we've pretty much taken up all the vertices. Like, there's not much else that I can do. I could maybe do like something that sucks the side in some. That would be kind of an original morph, but I don't want to like have chassis issues. I really want to get into doing some like crazier underbody, you know, some morphs in here, but I don't really know how that would end up working. And this is not really a modern edgy car. Like modern edgy car bodies need more, I think, edgy morphs. This is not that. This is still looks like a blob era car, even though it's a 2017. But I mean, what could we possibly mess with? Let's just toy around for a minute. And this is probably not going to do anything else. Probably done here. I just kind of want to... What would happen? I mean, like... It might be useful to have morphs that are kind of like that, you know. Give it some more shape, you know, because that could give it a little bit of shape. I don't want to do that though, obviously. All right. I mean, let me real quickly give it a test morph. Let's just play around with this for a bit. So if I did something like that, you could end up with a morph that gives you some character to the car. Problem is, it's buried underneath another morph right now, and there's no way to get to it. So, I mean, and I could take this one step further, right? So instead of doing that, I'm going to save. Instead of doing that, we could do a combination of stuff. So, like, what if I went and did... Like, what if I did something like this? What if I did... something like that. Let me actually hide. I want to move those. And hide those. If I did something like this, right? Let me get into side view. Just get into X-ray mode. Circle select. Maybe I want to do... I can do the whole thing. Watch this. So this is kind of one of the cool things about... I may actually put this in anyway, and then wait for... someday we'll actually be able to grab morphs that are nested inside of other morphs. But I mean, we could do something like this, right? And if I go into 3D cursor, I could scale it on the X, and we could do something like that. And then I can do deselect these right there, and I can just kind of scale that on the Y, pull it in, and so you'd end up with something like this for a morph. You know, just as an example. Not sure you might actually want that, but I mean, it's another option, you know, to go along with all the other morphs. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know, I think something like that would be useful. I think that's actually a really useful morph. It kind of gives you, does that look almost like an NSX in a way? Maybe, right here? I don't know. But I think having morphs like that would be super helpful, and I think I might actually do it. I might leave this one in, and I'll do this to all 5 of the cars, and we'll just wait for the day when we can actually select it. Let me, I will delete that morph. There we go. So that I can select all the cars. We'll call this, what do we want to name this guy? Call it F underscore, let's see. How about an F underscore tweet, bumper grab. F underscore bumper grab. That's not long-winded, is it? I don't think I want it to be that. How about just BPR? BPR. That way, if it's ever in like a slider menu, you'll actually be able to read it because it's not too long. Right? So let's try that. Let's try this. Because I think that's something that we've talked about with the developers, is adding sliders for your morphs so that you can have morphs inside of morphs inside of morphs and not have to worry about not, you know, burying your stuff. So that's not something that's in the game yet, and it'll just be something we have to deal with as the time comes. So what did I call that? F underscore BPR underscore tweak. Did I call it that? What did I call it? I've already forgotten what I named it. Grab. No, it wasn't tweak. Let me change it to grab. Okay. And I'm going to do that too. I'm missing one here. I'm missing the coupe. Do this to the coupe then. F underscore BPR underscore GRAB. Grab. Okay. Do some of these. And I got a message here. Wait a second. Oh, sorry. I was laughing at my wife sent me a message. It was funny. Anyway, let's see. So what am I at? What am I doing? Front bumper grab. I'm going to do one here for the, where am I on? This is the long wheelbase coupe. F underscore BPR underscore GRAB. And that was the last one, right? Yeah, I think we got them all. No, I skipped one. Skipped the sedan. So F_BPR, not burp, BPR, grab. All right. Let's highlight all of them. Do them all at once. Make sure we actually select them all this time. Okay. And some of it's already selected. We're going to be doing it over again. Let's grab all these guys. Oh, that reminds me. Figure out a way. I guess to just... Hold on a second. Hide. We have to do this like 5 times. Come on. Hide. Hide. There it goes. Okay. Hide. Hide. 3. Only 3 times. Am I missing a car? I'm missing a car. Yeah. Okay. Come on, guy. Hide that one. And on the other car it was already hidden. So hide. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. So we'll do a little funky-roo here. And should I include one more? Make it a little bit fatter. Maybe include another one. Maybe I should include the bottom but not the top one. I think maybe that would be better. Okay. So let's try this. We'll scale it on the X. And let me turn on proportional editing. Just a little bit. Not too much. Just a little. I'm going to bring that in like that. Back in a side view. Deselect all those. And we will scale on the X or the Y. Bring those back in. Hold on a second here. Yay! Trying to get proportional editing going here. Just want a little bit of proportional editing. I don't want a bunch. A little less. A little less. A little more. A little more. A little more. Just bring it in like right there. Alright. Alright. So let's give that a look. Let's pick one of them. Alright. And change the value, and there we go. So that gives us a different look. Totally changes the look of the car. That's kind of cool. And yeah, it's one of those things that's not really you're not gonna be able to use it yet. Or you'll be able to use this one and you won't be able to use the lip one. Because one of these is gonna bury the other ones. That's the rear lip. The front lip. Where's the front lip? This one here. Not the lip. That one. So I don't know. Maybe actually you might be able to grab it because it influences stuff over here and nothing else does. That might actually be grabbable right now. So hey, there's hope. Let's do the same thing for the back. We'll do the same exact sort of deal for the rear bumper. And that way we can kind of give it a continuous look. Let's grab just one at a time like we did before. We'll call it our R bumper grab. BPR, BPR grab. Cool. Yeah, getting some cool morphs going. This is kind of what's fun about shape keys is since they don't take that long, you can just add more of them and it doesn't take all day. It was just number 10, so it's the 10th morph already. It's pretty good. R, BPR, grab. And just keep moving down the line. Picking a car, giving it a morph, R_BPR. This is the most organized, honestly, set of morphs that I've done to date. They're all the same name. They all have the same general morphs. R, B, P, R, grab. So this is kind of cool. It's working out well. A long wheelbase coupe. And add one, r underscore bpr underscore grab. All right, let's see here. So let's grab the first two long wheelbase versions and get in the side view, select them both this time. Don't forget to do that. So unhide everything. Don't need anything hidden. And I don't know, the topology on this one kind of waves. May not work so well. See, on the front, the topology was in a nice line, but over here, it's got kind of an S-curve to it. That's not really going to work. Maybe I'll just have one that sinks in only, and then it doesn't like suck in the side. Because I mean, I'm really kind of limited by my topology here. I can only do so much. We'll do like that, and then we'll scale it in something like this. Come on. We can do something like that. Maybe not so drastic. Maybe something like that. It's probably going to look a little funny. Yeah, because it's going to kind of jut out here. So what I'll need to do then, I need to grab these. I'm going to need to scale them in on the X a little. Maybe I need to switch this to like linear. Linear or sharp. No, scale X. No, try linear. Yeah, maybe we can do something like that. I don't know, let's see what that looks like before I don't have to commit to it right now. Save. Not sure I'm going to like that one. Let's give it a look. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. You could put like a vent in here, right? And I don't know. I don't think I like it. No, I don't like it. I don't like that one. Let's undo. Try not to crash Blender in the process. I gotta think of a different idea. Maybe I just want it to be lower. Maybe I want it to be more like down here and not up here. And oops, that's not going to work too well if I don't have it on X-ray mode. Okay, and then maybe I better think about scaling it in before I scale it back. I don't know. Maybe that could be the whole thing. Maybe I could just be like a rear end tucking morph. Something like that. Put it on, it's on smooth. Let me put it on linear. Maybe that could be the morph. Oops. Can't really see it with both these cars selected, huh? Select the car. It just changes the shape a little. Kind of gives it more of a tapered back end. That might work. I don't know. It does kind of mess up reflections a little bit, but I mean, it's not like people aren't going to just go fixtureless back here. I don't know. I kind of like it. Not going to be able to do anything with it. Like you're not going to be able to grab it because it's going to be, this one is completely buried inside of the lip one. I don't think you're going to be able to grab that one. What to do? I don't know. Oh, wrong car. That shouldn't have been the wrong car. It should be the right one. Guess I didn't do the bumper grab on that one. Well, I don't know. Maybe the rear bumper grab's just not going to happen. I think maybe we're just going to have to leave the rear bumper grab. I don't know. I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it. Oh, that's weird. I don't want that. Kind of noticing I got a sharp edge down there. It shouldn't be like that. Smooth that edge. There we go. I think, what else could I possibly do to this thing? What if I did something like this? Hold on a second here. That's probably going to be just really weird. Grab the whole thing all the way across. Alright, what about something like that? Pretty weird. Causes a lot of weird reflections. I think it's just, no, that's not going to work either. Well, I don't really see a good option for this. Let's just get rid of rear bumper grab. We'll just get rid of that idea and we'll call this car done. And yeah, this car's done. Get rid of rear bumper. I didn't do rear bumper grab on any of the other ones yet, right? No, I did. Cool. So all that would be left to do is export and test. I don't think I need to stream that because I've covered that on multiple occasions. Go ahead and get rid of that. But yeah, that car is done. That car is ready for export. Oh, no, it's not. One last thing. I haven't done bounding boxes yet. That's right. I meant to save that for last. And I have definitely saved it for last. So I should have some generic bounds boxes ready to go. So let's open that level up real quick. Let me hide the car. Yeah, so I've got my generic bounds boxes already started. Let me get off this shading. And materials should be applied. For whatever reason, they're looking a little funny. Let me see. Front bounds, where's front bounds? Front bounds should be yellow. It's not because the eyedropper needs to be selected. Lower cabin cargo, all the rest looks about right. Bonnet, oh, bonnet's the wrong color. I don't really care about anything else. So, okay, that gives me a generic bounds box to get started with. This should be easy enough to set up. I'll just set up basically one bound box for all 5 cars, and then we can just kind of, with the shape keys as needed, and then we can just kind of like tweak as needed and join them to the cars. So they're already not mirrored, which is fine. It's actually better this way, I think. And let's grab a car, a bounds box. Alright, grab the bounds boxes, and let's just start getting them in line here. Let's scale them out. That's pretty big. Let's scale along the Y. Let's move it along the Y. I'm just looking at the lower bounds right now. It's a little too low. I think the whole idea is this should be lined with the bottom of the car here. And this should be about the top of the greenhouse canopy area. I think it might be a little tall. I think that makes a little more sense. Okay. Then that guy there. Let's see. Let's scale it. Let's make it a little shorter. So I typically will bisect the window like this on the front and the back. Now this is a 4-seat car. So it's going to look something like that. So there'll be some room in the back, a little tiny, like, you know, portion amounts of room, right? Let's move this down just a little bit to here. And then we'll bring the top up to roughly there. And then let's grab these guys. These are the driver cams, and we'll stick them about where the driver's head would approximately go. Bonnet cam's in pretty decent shape. We'll just move that. Whoops, I have proportional editing on still. Turn that off. Let's move that to, you know, right about there. All right, and then we have cargo bounds and front bounds. This will be a front engine and a rear engine car, so I got to kind of think about. Let me grab this guy. This is definitely. If this were a front engine car, the trunk would be where? Right, let's go into bounding box center here. Where would the trunk be? It would be about here to probably here, because the back seat's going to be in this general area. So, you know, let's just, let's see, let's think. So there's like maybe there's a spare tire here or something, and some axles and stuff, so the trunks aren't really that deep. You know, and then kind of bring this guy down till it kind of cuts the box in half. So half of it's in the car and half of it's out of the car. This is too far back. So let's do kind of the same idea where, okay, just sort of kind of starts to make a little bit of sense. All right, now we'll come over here. If this were a mid-engine car, or I'm sorry, a rear-engine car, how big does this have to be? So going to be pretty good amount of space. Obviously your feet have to kind of go here. The firewall is going to be about there. So this looks like it's mostly already in the right place height-wise. Maybe we can bring it down a little. Get it roughly the same height at the bottom as the other one. Maybe I'll pull this one out, give us a little more room this way. And I'll probably bring it down some. Maybe there. Yeah, that I think makes more sense. I think it needs to come out further, though. Let's see. To about, I think there probably. That's probably a fair amount of cargo space. Alright, so that gets us a bounds box to start with. Let me make a bunch of them. Hide the car. Let's make some copies. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, wait a minute. No, not yet. I'm going too far. Let's assign our shape keys to them first. Let me delete these. Whoa. Let's delete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delete those. So I'm going to give us our shape keys here. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where did we go? Give me a car. Give me a car. Alright, so the shape keys that are going to influence the size of the bounds boxes will be, like, let's see, the windshield will definitely be a key that does it. So let me grab, let's make a basis. We'll do a windshield. If you give it the same name, when it transfers, it will transfer to the same key. So let's see, quarter, no. Fender, no. Front lip, yeah, front lip probably. Front bumper, yeah. Hood, yeah. So let's do those three. F lip, F bumper, 1, 2, 3. F. You know, an easier way to do this, now that I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and let's just delete these real quick. I just realized I could save myself a bunch of time if I just give myself a save. If I just join these together, before I do, let me make sure that these are, I have no shape keys. Hide me group. I'm going to assign it to the hide me group. So let me go ahead and join these together. Now they'll select. Now they'll get all the shape key names. I can select the hide me group. Select the hide me group. No, just the hide me, and then separate it. So make it a separate object again. Now it'll have all the names all ready to go. Cool. And I don't have to sit here and do it manually. All right, so let's do, let's see. So let's take this car, and we'll take a look at the front lip and bulge it out. And then we'll take a look at these, and let's see. I'll just move it out just a tiny bit, and we'll do the same thing with the cargo. You don't want to. There's kind of a purpose to all of this. It's like, so if you're going to move the lower bounds out, it's going to make the car heavier, and it's going to put more weight over the front end. You don't want to do that just for the hell of it. You want to give the player like a reason for that, so you get a little more cargo space. So the trade-off is you get a little heavier front end, but you get some more cargo space. You don't want to just like move the lower bounds and make the car heavier just to be a dick. And oh, I just did that on the wrong morph, so let's undo that. Make sure, yeah, okay. Make sure we've undone. Got to make sure that I've on the right one. So that was front lip. Now we move it along the Y. There we go. Okay, now tabbing out, go to here. Go ahead and move that down. Let's do the front bumper. All right, tab back in here, go to front bumper, and we'll move it out on the, hold up. Move it out on the front bumper like so. So now we have a front lip, we have a front bumper for our shape keys. And then we need, what, a hood one. So let's tab out, let's go to hood. Hold on, let me take that back down. Go up here. So the hood makes the whole front end pretty large. So that will give us some extra cargo space, but also make the car heavier, right? So let's tab out, let's go into our shirtaders. Our shirtaders, that's the technical term for these. And we're going to simultaneously give the car more weight and more cargo space. So I'm going to move this up on the Z. But I don't want to go crazy on the weight, because that could get out of hand, just to get a little more cargo space. So I'm going to stop the weight pull at that point and get this up just a little more. And I feel like this is just too high, because this is higher than the cabin, and you don't really want the one higher than the other. This should be, you have to think of this like a square box, you know, because the game is going to interpret this as a square box. We do this tapered for some reason, I still forget why, but there's a reason for it. And oh, you know what I never did was make sure the width was right. Oh, thankfully the width is okay. Yeah, even the cargo boxes should be like in here because you got wheel wells and you know, things like that. So the cargo boxes should be narrower. Oh, I got lucky. I got lucky that everything is about the right width. The only thing that may not be is the width of the whole thing. The thing is, though, change the width of it may not necessarily translate to all the others. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's working out just fine. All right, good. So I just wanted to make it a little bit wider there. Everything else is probably fine. Might actually want to make the cabin bounds a tiny bit narrower. I feel like it might be just a little wide. So let's scale that in just a touch. Okay, cargo boxes are fine. Maybe I can make the front one a little bit bigger. Maybe I can make that one a little wider. Making sure that I'm on basis when I do this, these corrections. So now it's as wide as the front. There we go. That's fine. That'll be good. That'll be good. All right, so where were we at? We had done the hood, right? Front bumper, hood, lip, fender. No? I don't see anything different about the hood. Basis, quarter, fender, lip, front bumper. Oh, I did the wrong one. Bummer. I was on front bumper when I did this. Arrgh! Alright, let's put this back where I found it. Just barely moving it there. Okay. Front bumper, and this is going to have to come down too. Okay, that's fine. Now to hood. Oh dear. Making a mess for myself, huh? Making all kinds of messes for myself. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. I'm going to make sure I don't go above this line here. So that's pretty good. And then we'll just grab these guys and we'll move them up. We have a little more space there. Okay, so moving on. Windshield. Oh, yeah, let's grab the car. Alright, so I can move the hood back down. Okay, move the hood back down, go to the windshield, crank the windshield up. Now we go back over to here, and let's just pull this out. On the windshield, right? Pull that out till it's about there. Okay, tab into the car, turn down the windshield. Let's take a look at the rear lip. Go ahead and crank out the rear lip. That's not much change. That's okay. So let's tab in here, go to the rear lip, and we'll move it out just a tiny bit. About like so. Okay. Okay, tab out. Grab the car, turn the rear lip back down. Look at rear bumper. Alright, that's a much bigger one. Let's go over into here, go to rear bumper, and we will move these out a bit further. Okay, rear glass. Yeah, that's one that will make the car heavier with more cargo space. So let's take a look at that one. Tab out, grab the car, rear glass. Go ahead and make that value go up there. Tab in here, rear glass. Kind of the same thing. Let me jump over here. I'll move this whole thing up. So it's right about there. And then we'll do the cargo. Give us a little more cargo room. Like that. Okay. Then we have the front bumper grab's not going to do anything. That's just a it's just kind of a body shape. Doesn't change the size of the car. That's not, yeah, we're not going to do anything with that. And that's it. Alright, so now I can make a bunch of copies of my bounds boxes. Let me hide the car. And where are my bounds boxes at? It should be in here, right? Where'd they go? Where'd you go? Oh, I already moved you over here. That's right. So you're in here. So bounds for now, right? Duplicate, 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 duplicate. Let's call one of these backup, right? So we'll back up the bounds box in case I need to come back to it. And where'd that go? Down here, so I'll throw that in there. Alright, so now I have this guy, which I'm going to go ahead and join to the coupe. And let me grab, let's take number 2 and drag it into the target. Let's take number 3, drag it into the convertible. Take number 4, drag it into the long wheelbase sedan. Take number 5, drag it into the long wheelbase coupe, and we'll just delete number 6. So here we go. Alright, 1. So this car is going to be the same as this one, so we'll join it. Okay, that one's done. Come over here. You don't have to unwrap bounds boxes, so I'm not got to worry about that. So let's see, bounds 2, and this car should, the target and the convertible are all essentially the same. So we shouldn't have to do anything different with the bounds boxes. So we'll join those together. That one's done. Convertible. Okay, here's our bounds. Tab in and join. So now we get into the long wheelbase cars, and we will have to tweak each of these individually, but all we have to do is tweak the size. Everything else should be about the same, I think. So let me go into tab there. So let's do something like this. Let's move this guy back about there in basis again. Move this guy back about here. Let's grab this one and move him back. Grab this one and move him back. The front is all the same, it's just the back that's a little bit different. Cargo. So that's probably going to be in about the same spot. The back is pretty much the same from here back. Cargo will be the same. And so that's fine for that car. So let's go ahead and let me actually, before I do anything, let me make sure that the morphs all make sense still. Yep, everything is acting the way it should. Oh, well, that's kind of a weird one. The bottom of the thing went up. It shouldn't have. Must have done that on all of them. That sucks. I might have to fix this. That should be down here. Alright, so let me double check all these other cars. Man. Real quick. So I'll join these up. I'll join these together. Control J. And that means I need to do a little bit of a tweak to that one bound for glass, because the whole thing goes up and it shouldn't. Okay, so that one's fixed. Come over here to Targa. Go to glass, where it's messed up. Select it. Move it down. About there. Okay. And then coupe. Actually, we're on the wrong one. Gotta be on glass. There we go. Move it down. There. Fix that up. Alright, so now gotta do the same thing on the very last one, which is this guy here. Let me go over to the glass one before I do anything. Do it first this time. Okay, now I'll go back to basis. And let's see about picking some stuff that makes sense for this car. So it's a mid-engine car, and you really don't get two cargo boxes with a mid-engine car. So let's just take this one. It's the only variant that's going to have one engine option. So I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to take the cargo box and move it to the front. Cargo bounds, move it up here. That means I'm going to have to, like, when I go to quarter and Fender and stuff, I think they're going to be all out of whack. Maybe. I'm going to have to reshape them. Actually, what I should have done, hold on a second. Let me undo. Let me save. Let me undo all the way. I have a better idea. Don't be an idiot. What I'll do is I'll just delete the cargo box, and I will select the front bounds box, and I will rename the material cargo bounds. Hey, there we go. Now I don't have to like mess with it. Actually, well, did it actually assign it? Cargo bounds, assign. Yeah, it's that bright green cargo bounds color. Front bounds is kind of the yellow looking one. All right, cool. So now let's get it all ship shape, right? All right, so I got to go and move in basis. Make sure I'm in basis. I am. This is to move back, and I want to move this one back a little. And otherwise, it's the same. Everything up here is almost exactly the same. The only thing that's different is a longer car. The front end's the same, so that's done. Cool. All right, we'll just join those together. Control J. That's it. Now they're ready for export. Ha! Cool. All right, well, I'll cover export settings real quick, but like I said, we're not going to deal with Unreal Engine or anything like that, I don't think. Hello, El Chasco. Welcome to the stream. It's almost over. So let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's triangulate. Yeah. Because we haven't done that yet either. So I'll make duplicates for saves. Let me make sure that I get duplicates of all these. So starting with the coupe. Yeah, let's go ahead and duplicate that. Let's rename this pre-try backup. Pre-try backup. I'm going to do this with all 5. That way And it's pretty common that I have to come back actually and mess with a car, and it's nice to have one that's right before export, right before I triangulated it, so I can just go back and fix what I need to fix and triangulate it again real quick. Because, I mean, once it's triangulated, you're kind of just screwed. You're not going to be messing with it much. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and duplicate that, rename it, underscore pre-try backup. All right, throw that in the backups folder. All right, let's do convertible, grab that guy, duplicate it. Yep. Pre-try backup. 3 down, 2 to go. Okay. Duplicate. Underscore pre-try backup. Back up. Back it up. All right, throw that guy in there. This guy here. All right, duplicate it. The last one. Pre-try backup. Ta-da! Oops, I put it put it in its own folder. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, now I got backups of everything. Let's do triangulation. That's something I'll also. I should just make a quick video about this, like one of those 10-minute deals. But yeah, so what we want to do now is triangulate our mesh manually. And ooh, I bet I can multi-object edit this as well and do it once. Hold on a second. Let's see if that should work. That should totally work. All right, let me grab all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see this one. 5. Right. All right, all of them. Okay, just save. All right, crash blender here. All right, multi-object editing time. Get into the X-ray mode. Deselect everything. Now, getting on the one side, let's select all this. 1/2 of the car. Okay, go into face mode. We can get out of X-ray mode now. And we will hit Control T, and that will triangulate our faces. I'm going to set it to fixed. They're all going one way. Then I'm going to hit Control I and Control T again, and we'll do fixed alternate so that our triangles don't meet up in a V in the middle. And that will solve V-shaped reflections going down the middle of the car. Yeah, cool. So that should do all the cars. Let's pick a random one and make sure that it actually did. Sweet. Cool. Multi-object editing is great. I did 5 cars at one time. Cool. All right, now they're actually ready to export. So let's do that real quick. Let me... ooh, I gotta make a folder for it. Let me find... So I'm going to do this off screen here. On another monitor. So I'm going to do... I've got to put it in... It's going straight vanilla. It's not going on the workshop. I'm going to put it right in Perforce. So I can upload it straight to the game. I just got to figure out what's a good way to get it there. Put it in Assets, Bodies, Body FBX. There we go. And then I'll just make a folder in here somewhere. There we go. New folder. Where'd you go? There you are. And I'm going to name it. Whoops. I'm trying to name the folder guy. All right. Let's call this. I haven't decided what year to release this yet. I mean, it's a 2018, but the thing looks the same as a Porsche from 2000, doesn't it? I mean, should I release it in 2005 so it can come out in 2010? I don't really know. I really don't know. Let's just call it 2000s. You can't see anything what I'm doing here. Just listening to me ramble. I'm going to call it 2000s SS because it's super sporty. And that's, I think, all I'm going to name it. 2000s SS. And that will give me a folder. Cool. All right, now that folder is empty. Let's go ahead and do some exports. Now I have a folder to put it in. Let's do F2, export, FBX, and now I got to find the folder this way. So that's in Dev, it's in P4V, it's in Assets, Bodies, Body FBX, and it's somewhere in here, 2000s SS. So here we go. I've been calling it 10s. I'm going to make it 2000s SS underscore, and we're starting with the coupe, I do believe. So important presets are selected objects so that we don't export the entire blend file. Geometry goes to face and tangent spaces. Since I import my tangent spaces, I click that box there. Otherwise, it computes normals, and that wrecks all your shading. You don't want to use that. And untick leaf bones. Still doesn't matter because we don't have a rig. But if you ever have a rig, deticking that is a good thing to do, because otherwise you'll have twice as many bones when you go to set up your rig in Unreal, and it's kind of a pain. So 2000s SS coupe export. That was the coupe, wasn't it? It was. Okay, good. So let's do the targa now. From here it gets pretty simple because it saves your presets. All you got to do is just rename what you're doing. So this is targa. Let's export that. Convertible, F2, F, and this is convertible. All right, so that one's done. Then we have our long wheelbase sedan, F2, export FBX, and gotta give it a name. It is LWB for long wheelbase underscore sedan. And then we have the mid-engine coupe, and I just call it long wheelbase coupe. And everything's exported. All right, and I think that'll do it for this stream. I'm just going to jump into Perforce and Unreal, and I'm going to get them loaded into the game, test it up, ready to go. And that's not something I think I need to cover on this stream. I've done it twice before on 2 other streams. So, I mean, if you need to see how that's done, you can refer to one of those 2. I don't need to make this one any longer, I don't think. Anyway, cool. Let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for watching. And if you find this stuff useful, don't forget to like and subscribe so more people can find it. The way Google's algorithm crap works is it's like you have to pretend like you care about me. So pretend like you care, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments below, and I've been answering them pretty good. I'm not so famous yet that I can't get to your questions. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys on the next one.